All right, when I released a video last week on not forgetting to plan, making sure that you're running your business even during the slowdown related to COVID-19, my very last point was how do we make our product interactions more human for our customers? And I've gotten a lot of feedback this week and wanted to just talk about that a little bit more. So obviously COVID-19 is changing everyone's rhythm. I'm sitting here at my house, dog's over here, my kids are in the other room homeschooling with my wife. We're trying to figure out how to do new normal, right? And so there aren't as many human interactions for me. And you're the same way if you're stuck at home like I am. And so what's happened is that the amount of human interaction that you and I have has been pared back. It's been rolled back quite a bit. And so every small human moment that you and I have is more important than it was, I would say, a month or two ago, because we notice it. We notice things that we wouldn't ordinarily notice. And this kind of reminds me of one of the best books I read when I was in graduate school. I read a lot of them I didn't care about, but there was one by Daniel Pink called A Whole New Mind, Why Right-Brainers Will Rule the Future. And Pink's work was all related to looking at research for why people make purchasing decisions. Why is the behavior in our economy changing to where it's not enough just to have the right data points, the right left brain thinking, right? But all of a sudden it's important to be able to attach meaning, to be able to attach significance with your products. Case in point, you used to go to Walmart, and if you needed to buy a toilet brush, I think this might have actually been one of his examples, you'd go and there was one. There was a toilet brush. You would buy it, or if there was two, you'd buy the one that fits your budget and you would leave. But now with Amazon, the reason we're in business, this new world of marketplace where we can get tremendous variety in front of our customers. Well, guess what? You can now search on Amazon and find probably hundreds of toilet brushes, right? And so why are you going to pull the trigger on one versus another? Well, the answer is you're going to pull the trigger on the one that creates significance for you, that adds more meaning to my life, if that's possible somehow with the toilet brush. And because the stimulation, we're not around our friends as much. We're not seeing our family in person if it's not the immediate family. Because our interaction with humans has been narrowed because of COVID-19, there's a gigantic opportunity for us to generate human connection for our customers if we're willing to think outside the box. And so a couple of practical things that you might consider doing for your products to create more human connection, more human significance in small ways is one is, if you're not already, focus on storytelling, and not just any storytelling, not your storytelling, but your customer's storytelling. How can I understand what my buyer, what is she going through right now? What's happening in her life that is current, that wasn't current a month ago, that wasn't current 2 months ago? And how can I craft my language? This is really practical. How can I go rebuild my listings and my keyword research to make sure that I'm addressing what's top of mind? Obviously, there's tons of, if your product does anything to disinfect, it's a no-brainer, right? Then it's become a part of your advertising. But even beyond that, what are the feelings? What are the things that my products solve? They might help bring people together. There might be products that help you if you're dealing with isolation. Anything that allows you to frame your product around your customer stories. That's the first thing, is be a storyteller. The second thing is, if you haven't already, it might be worth looking into finding a cause to support. What was it? Tom Shoes, right, has made a tremendous growth spurt through the market by just giving away shoes. I'm not saying that in this kind of economy you need to go give away revenue, but there may be something that you can attach your brand to in terms of a worthy cause, something that generates a feel-good for your customers, supporting veterans, supporting emergency care workers, supporting medical workers. If you happen to have a factory where you can manufacture masks, maybe you give away masks to a local hospital for every unit. So I don't know, but I just want you to be creative. Find some way to create human connection for your audience. And then third, I would say, if all else fails, you've done your storytelling, there's not really another obvious way to support a cause that matters, then find some small, tangible, meaningful, intentional, thoughtful way to address your customers. That could be a small free insert that you're adding that isn't about trying to perpetuate future sales necessarily. It's really about blessing them, or a handwritten note somewhere on the package if you're now finding yourself fulfilling out of your garage or out of your own warehouse where you used to use FBA for everything. It could be anything like that. It could be using the allowed TOS, one email, not to ask for anything in return, but just to check on your customers, and it'd be personalized. I mean, depending on how many orders you have going out a day, There's never been a harder moment if you're in some businesses. Think about like mine, right? I'm an accounting business, right? We do bookkeeping and CFO. This is a pretty difficult time to acquire new customers for us, although thankfully we are. But it's a great time to add value to people, to develop relationships. And so I just want to encourage you to not forget that even with the product world, the retail world that you are in as a seller, you can still do that. You can still find creative, small, thoughtful ways to make meaning happen when someone opens the box for you. And I think if you did those three things, focus on storytelling, find a cause that matters, or attach your brand to a cause that matters. And then even if all else fails, find some small, thoughtful, altruistic way to connect humanity, you'll find that your brand will get lots of loyalty, and that your ability to then drive sales into the future, especially as the recession lifts, will be multiplied tenfold. So I hope that this is helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.